tell nobody. Just decide to do it. And for people that follow me, much respect, uplift, and keep. Just decide to kind of like do some talk. There's a lot of subjects that are out there right now. You know, sometimes just thinking about better health, finding, spiritually more than anything. Forget about your money, just eating well. With all this stuff going on with these low price burgers and all this stuff, just taking care of your health. Because in light of the pandemic and everything that's happened the last few years, just psychologically, spiritually, eating better, drinking a lot of water, exercising, just doing fundamental things, eliminating the toxics of the racism that's out here, the poverty that's out here, the homelessness, because like a lot of times when I'm walk out in the neighborhood out here, is that not only have nots, but the pain, struggling, the commotions, the tensions, the stresses, and all this political warfare, psychological warfare, like when you see what's happening here. And we're seeing a lot of, you know, migrant that should be funding for people. Can't get reparations, can't get better education, systematic institutionalized racism, all this stuff. Stuff that's being concentrated on that isn't directed for helping people that you see how things are going to shape up, but everything is so dictated. Running for president, that's all people are fixated on. One guy's got 99 charges, the other guy could have about 99 charges too. So you're just kind of looking at things like what is shaping up? What does it mean? You know, and for most part, the country isn't as strong as it between the UPS. They just settled a deal. Government strikes, all this stuff, pandemic life, safety, the debris. I said the debris is very real. I said the negativity, all this stuff is connected. It's spiritual. Call it Book of Revelations. That's how I look. People, what's up? What's up to Ted Cox? What's happened? You're not taking care of people. You're creating more hostility, more problems, and you're not doing enough to combat that. So everything is focused on the entertainment. They always trying to like see all these worlds collide together. Like when I'm watching what's happening with these cases in Hollywood, all these people coming off of these assaults and all this stuff, and everything that's happening in DC, these worlds are colliding. This takeover is real. The very dark days, a very uncertain future. But see, that's the thing. How you prepare for the future if you're not taking care of what's in the immediate. So you got situations that it's just, you know, prime pain. So, Brother Ted Cox asked me my thoughts on the Nick Chubb injury. Well, bottom line is this. Deshaun Watson got to put up or shut up. They got $250 million invested in him. They got Amari Cooper. They got Miles Copeland. They have a very good defense. They have a very potent offense, even without Chubb. Chubb is one of the four best running backs in the game today. They don't replace that. But Deshaun Watson, it wasn't that long ago that he was running neck and neck with Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. There wasn't that long ago where he was considered a top-tier quarterback on him. But the thing is this, he has to be the guy. If not, no. So, yeah, Dak Prescott did use Cooper better on slants and fades. I think Cleveland is limited. I think they like to run old power game formation. He did miss on that one pass. I watched the game against Pittsburgh. He did miss on a pass to him. But I think Deshaun is what we call a scrambler who likes to roll and move and dink and dunk. And I think that his style so far is counter to what Cleveland's trying to do. Cleveland is not an offensive juggernaut. They have explosive weapons and they've had talent, but they don't really utilize the field. Dak is good for that. Dak hitting those fade routes and whatnot, play action, he did. But, Deshaun is the cat that when he's on, he's one of the best quarterbacks. When he isn't. No, because Josh Allen, they both got the Ben Roethlisberger, big body, burly, athletic guy situation, but Josh Allen carries more in Buffalo than Dak does. And let me explain. Before God, he went to New England too, and I'm not thinking. But anyway, running back that just had that. Yeah, Dallas had better receiver corps. One Stephon Diggs does not equal Lamb and Coop and all that. Dak has had better overall supporting cast. Josh Allen is asked to run, create, and then throw and manipulate. Dallas's running game, you had a two-back offense. You had a better receiving core. You had a line and all that. Josh Allen was asked to do more. Only reason why they would come off equals is because you could say because of the postseason, but okay. He Josh has had less to work with overall than Dak has. Not to mention the defenses. Buffalo had half the defense of Dallas. They would be Milano's playing good right now, but the Buffalo, we're gonna see what happens with Von Miller. But they have a top tier quality of talent around them, but not where I would say it's had a lot better to work with, Just saying. So Dak falls in line with Derek Carr and with Kirk Cousins. Josh is in the sentences with Patrick Mahomes and Burrows and Lamar Jackson. There's tiers to this. That's what I'm saying. So, but that's a good thought, though. I mean, Jordan Love, yeah, I like Jordan Love. I think it's just gonna take a little seasoning, basically. I think that, and they got to build the defense and they got to get the ground game. They can't lose them games like that to Atlanta. That's not a good look. But they're growing back there. They're not going to be that special this year with him. But if they can win, be in vision, I think he got an upside to him. But we'll see how that turns out. We'll see. That's a ways to go because Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers' body of work is pretty big. But I hear Carr. Yeah, except the difference is that for me is that Carr is more frustrating. Carr has games when he can look like a top 5 quarterback, and he other games looks like he's 25. Prescott, aside from his rookie year and second year, been pretty middle of the road. Carr is like he can go either way. I can see the comparison, but Carr has been more frustrating with the Raiders because when Del Rio was the coach, and so on and so forth. He has moments, and he's moments, but then he has moments stinks. Like I watched these 2 games against moments when he throws good passes, and he just looks bad. He just erratic with it. Prescott does too much. Stat Pass does a lot, but I've never, even on his best day, I never looked at him as a top 5 quarterback. Okay, Justin Fields is a scrub. I think the problem is the Bears just don't know how to. If you could make the trade to the Denver Broncos, I would love to see what Sean Payton would do with him because everything he's trying to do with Russell, I would love to see that. That's what you need to happen. Justin Fields needs to play for an offensive-minded coach who could work him with his skills in Jacksonville. I'd like to see that. I don't think Justin Fields is getting utilized. Some of it's on him, but it's also the way they run the offense. But, when he came on and said it about the coach, he ain't wrong. He ain't long ago. People forget because it seems like a lifetime before runner. He looked like it. And now he's a grandpa. He can't really do much there because I don't know if the receivers, they blew that game against Washington. But what you see is as good as can get. And I think that him changing his attitude, his ways is going to change it. I just think that he is where he is right now. He was he had a great run in Seattle. Pete Carroll was his best coach he could ever have and balanced it out. But that Super Bowl against New England, none of the parties were ever the same. None of them. And Russell was never the same. Obviously, the Legion of Boom was never the same. So, yeah, that's true. So I was out near the Seattle area, and he actually be some street kid. He had some hustle in him from Norfolk. His grandpa, he played baseball, Texas Rangers, all that. Yeah, but see, Pete Carroll worked that to his that's why that play to Marshawn was set up. The funny thing about it is Marshawn has gotten bigger in Seattle. He's still been doing commercials. They still endorse him. They still love him. Yeah, the funniest thing is I dealt with some white folks who were sports lovers. And even though Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl, went to 2 Super Bowls, and came across Mr. Clean and Good, folks still love King Griffey Jr. more. Now, obviously, King Griffey Jr. left a lasting impact, and he was probably the most important baseball player, maybe most important athlete in Seattle. Ever did the disconnect between what they thought about him and Russell. It's interesting because you think they measure up like that. So you're definitely on to something with that. And I know Sherman and them cats, they weren't feeling it. They weren't feeling it. But then they were mad at Pete Carroll because of that call. So when he had his own office and did all that. So yeah, Tiki played to the cameras. Tiki tried to do an OJ like thing, and then the whole thing went down with the babies and the mamas and all that. Crossover of them because if they think they can, your dog, Pete Carroll, until you're in certain places, and cats are not going to get the tee off and really, this that thing is all contrived. It's white, it's very business-like. They tried. And he's corny. I know a lot of his commercials, like I sitting there to Seattle, I saw Russell's commercials, they tried. And they were corny. But they had an agenda to fit. And that's how he got paid, because he really didn't have much personality like they're gonna put him in movies. What's happening, Barbara? Great to see you. Bless your soul. Thank you for appreciate you. One of my favorite YouTube creators, one of the greatest creators, the great Barbara. The Baba is one of my favorite people. Check out his show. Check out what he's talking about. Pete Carroll will get in because he's got a ring. And, the SC, they're not holding the USC thing against him. They're not going to hold that call against him. He will get in. I think he shouldn't get in. I'm with you, but they'll get him in. He's been around. Matter of fact, it's almost like that was like in another lifetime, which he is, because with technology and everything. And yes, I agree to you. The Elder's channel is the truth. I love how the Elder talks about the spirits, the psychological, and talks about eating better, living better, doing better. And I got checked out some of his videos where he's talking about Sexy Red and some of the historical aspects, and also about the industry and the divide to conquer. That needs to definitely be emphasized. You see where this country is going and what they're doing. The political agenda, the hate that's being stewed. Then you see everything with Deion Sanders and how they're trying to manipulate, a lot going on with everything. And that I co-sign 100%. Oh God. Tyreek and what's his name? I can't remember. Yes, since the Marx Brothers. And I tell you, I wasn't sold on Tua because I, taking hits and in his short game, but his deep ball is on point. The Dolphins, as a Bills fan, dare I say, probably the best team going in the right now. They look scary. If their defense, Jalen Waddle, thank you. If their defense matches half of their offense, dare I say, they could come out the AFC. He's doing is nice. I mean, Tyreek Hill, I think the world of. That's how you know Patrick Mahomes is in the argument as one of the 2 or 3 greatest quarterbacks ever. Because could you imagine Joe Montana and Tom Brady losing a weapon like that in their prime and their peak and still going and win the Super Bowl? I think he can throw in the snow. I just think staying healthy. Those concussions are real, man. I mean, like you take those shots, in time where, he got rocked and he's got to unload the rock. And then again, he's got to avoid those picks. One problem I ain't worried about him. The cat's got he got a javelin in his arm. It's embarrassing for the NFL plantation, I call it, because they should have had black quarterbacks. I'm not saying Mahomes wouldn't be top 3 ever or something, in my personal opinion, but you would have had black quarterbacks if they hadn't had this plantation a long time ago. And Mahomes I call him the go, but I do think they're gonna miss Eric Bieniemy though. I really do. We're gonna see, but I'm glad to see that. Oh yeah, Elder. Yeah. If Miami again, the defense comes up, yeah. Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts is the truth, and believe me, he had to do too much though in that Super Bowl. and I think that's what cost it. But I mean, yeah, he's kind of like that it because they got a squad, but I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I don't think he gets enough due. Yeah, great call on Warren Moon. I lived in Houston back then. Moon, people understand. See, the whitewash of the NFL kept him out. He had to go to Canada. Comes to the NFL 6 years past college. Comes to the NFL from Canada and is ranked third behind Marino, Montana in percentages back in '84. That was mind blowing. And Moon was something else. It's just like I said before, opportunity. You know, you gotta peak with Moon and Doug Williams and Randall Cunningham, but for the scrambling the hooks, I don't think he quite was as like I don't think he did quite the acrobatics that Mahomes did. I saw his ball was more fluid, like he threw a great pass and he could move. But Mahomes is like on some Curly Neal, Steph Curry tip. I ain't seen nobody go left. I ain't never seen him throw a left hand drop, but I can see the similarities. I could say the same thing about Randall Cunningham with Mahomes. Could throw a deep ball, was agile, you know. Michael Vick, yeah, there you go. Had the deep arm, could move. There have been situations, you know. But the way they done black quarterbacks, yeah, he had an incredible arm. But Marino still got the fastest release I've ever seen. Marino's release is still mind blowing. But um, yeah, I can make that case. I could make that case. I liked I like that. Definitely. And a fair world moon would have definitely been. I could definitely say that. Um, Marino was something else. If Warren Moon had a Don Shula as a coach, peak and prime, oh yeah, he had a couple rings easily. 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 Because Moon got to Houston and that was post Bum Phillips and I think they brought that coach in from Canada and then they had Jack Party and Party and I wanna forgot. Remember when the Bills beat them in that whole thing with Buddy Ryan fighting on the sideline? I remember that whole thing. Moon put them in contention. Moon was something else. They got to see Warren Moon would have probably like what I was trying to say earlier was Ezekiel Elliott with Dallas and when he was good his first 2 or 3 years before it. Josh Allen has had running backs by committee, but they have not mustered. I've liked some of the backs, but not the one. Yeah, Jeffries was good, you know, and he was putting up yards. Well, you know, I tell you like this, black quarterbacks historically have never gotten the elite, the cream of the creme, as far as top flight receivers when they played. You know, usually. Now I can make a case that uh, Dante Culpepper and Ronald Cunningham when they had Randy Moss, but usually black quarterback gets to a team, he got to figure it out and he's got to make it work. He doesn't usually get the top, you know, elite cream of the cream as far as like having receivers and stuff. So, you know, that is a fact that they don't put them in they don't put them in a win-win situation. You know, you gotta, you know, it's how things go. Yeah, and that was a great marriage. It should have been better than it was. They were more the way the media portrayed Shaq and Kobe than what it was really was. Because Shaq and Kobe did win, and they coexisted in spite of. McNabb got T.O. and it looked like because T.O. is one of the to me one of the three greatest wide receivers ever. But he's behind Jerry Rice, but he's in that argument with Randy Moss. He's bad, and he played better than anybody on Philadelphia's offense in the Super Bowl with one leg because McNabb was choking and gagging. T.O. got off in it, and he just, you know, you can say what you want to say about T.O., but when it came time to bring game time, he brought it. And McNabb didn't at that time. Just saying. Could you imagine T.O. today with Jalen Hurts? Oh boy. That because sometimes he's a good to very good quarterback, but he wasn't a finisher. He didn't have that. He was good. They got to all them NFC Championship games with Andy Reid. You know, oh, if you took his prime peak with him, yeah, I'm sorry, Stephon Diggs would be an afterthought. It's Jerry Rice isn't look. Jerry Rice is the GOAT receiver. I have all that. But yeah, T.O. with Josh Allen, oh buddy. With the way T.O. could move down the field, and as long as he catches the ball, don't problem with T.O. He did drop bombs. But make no mistake about it. His toughness, his strength, great. No doubt. That's because the Bills is the sad part. But yeah, you could go back and mix and match. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Takes there too, like that. Yeah. I'm planning on more of these. He should be. Sean McDermott should be. Um, you can't have that kind of talent and don't win. You know, you've been to the playoffs. We were happy to lose to Jacksonville that one year. Lost that game to Houston with Deshaun Watson